Learning outcomes. After studying this module, you shall be able to know about strategic alliance, motives, different types and benefits of forming strategic alliance, learn about the theories of firm behavior which explains the strategic alliance, study about the 3 different phases of strategic alliance, identify and evaluate the structure and the characteristic internal factor and processes associated with each phase of a strategic alliance, evaluate the factors responsible for success and failures of strategic alliance. Introduction. Strategic alliance are considered as formal inter-organizational relationships among the companies. The idea behind alliance is to achieve the objective through a cooperative arrangement and collaboration rather than through competition. Strategic alliances are becoming very important tool in most of the industries due to the benefits associated with it, especially when the companies are competing in the global market. It enables the firms to be more competitive, gain access to new market, acquire set of specific skills and knowledge, reduce risk and cost, enhance profits. It will not be impossible for the firms to achieve these objectives if operating alone. Background motives and benefits of the strategic alliance along with the types are presented in the subsequent sections. Theory of firm behavior which can be used to explain strategic alliance, the stages involved in a successful strategic alliance and factors for success and failure of strategic alliance have been dealt in separate section of this module. Strategic alliance. Strategic alliance definition and background. Strategic alliances refers to an agreement that enables two companies that shares common interest and utilizes the similar resources to achieve their goals. The two companies entering the agreement are independent and often compete with each other. It's a process where the companies entering into the alliance willingly brings about changes in their business practices to avoid unnecessary duplication and improve their performance. As the name suggests, the alliance is based on the strategic plan, thus it has to be strategic in nature. The relationship between the partners must thrive for the successful execution of the strategic plan. It is considered as partnership done to avail mutually beneficial opportunity and enjoy sustained competitive advantage. Strategic alliance, however, do not include transactions based on the short-term contracts like sales, loans, acquisitions and activities that are not strategic like outsourcing involving multi-year agreement. Firms decide to go for the strategic alliance only in case they feel that the alliance would fulfill certain set criteria. The decision in favor of strategic alliance would depend on the factors like ability of the proposed alliance in allowing the firms to achieve its objectives and goals in a more effective and efficient manner. The other important factor that favor the strategic alliance is the prospect of the alliance in enabling the firms mitigating the risk, entry in the new market and ability to take advantage of the new market. It will also depend on the strategic nature of the alliance and its acceptability among the top management. In case of the strategic alliance, the two firms will make an agreement only to achieve the objectives that are very important and are of common interest for both the firms, while the other objectives remain independent of the alliance. Both partners would share benefits and control of the management throughout the duration of the alliance. Partners also use their own resources and expertise towards the development of at least one or more areas of the alliance which are important for both of them. This could be R&D, technology, marketing, production or any other area. Firms prefer to go for strategic alliance when the partners realize that there is need for capabilities and competencies which cannot be developed by them individually. Another driving factor is the inability of the firm to acquire another firm in order to achieve a particular development goal. For better performance of the alliance, the management of an alliance differ in at least some qualities as compared to the parent company. Figure 1. Change in the factors leading to the alliances. In the last few decades, strategic alliance has seen a very rapid evolution, with the main factor behind the alliance changing in each of the decades. Figure 1 summarizes the change in the main factor behind the strategic alliance in the last 3 decades of the 20th century. Performance of the product was the main factor for the strategic alliance made during 70s. Alliances were made to have access to low cost raw material, technology and improved market presence in the international market. In the 1980s, there was massive growth in alliances. In this decade, consolidating the company's position in the sector was the main objective. Alliance was used to build economy of scope and scale. The decade saw some of the greatest strategic alliances, like the alliance between Eastman Kodak and Canon, which enabled Canon to produce range of photocopier under the brand name of Kodak, and alliance between Toshiba and Motorola, which enabled them to combine their technology to produce microprocessors. The decade of 90s saw the disappearance of the barriers between the geographical markets along with the diminishing border between the sectors. This made capabilities and competencies the objective of alliance. Maintaining one's position in the market was not just sufficient. They had to anticipate the rival's position and use innovations to gain the competitive advantage. Motives for strategic alliance. The global competition and growing demand for technologies had made the strategic alliance one of the most effective tools for the organizations to achieve their goals by using each other's competencies and expertise. Strategic alliance is driven by the factors which are either market related or technology related or both combined together. The main objective of the majority, the alliances, are the joint sales and marketing activities followed by the research and development activities. Some of the main motives working behind the strategic alliances are: strategic alliances are done to enter the new market by overcoming the political, economic and social barriers. By joining with other organizations, the two are able to strategize the entry, which may not be possible if done independently. Competitive position of the home market is protected by the alliances. Entering the international market may have effect on the domestic market. However, strengthening of their position post-alliance forces the foreign competitors at home against any expansion, protecting the home market. Firms entering into an alliance get the opportunity to increase the distribution network through the means of distribution. Sharing between the partners reduces the production cost and risk associated with the project, product or services. Companies, by getting into alliance, gain access to intangible assets like technical expertise, brand name, etc. The partner also receives cooperation from the potential rival, which decreases the internal and external uncertainties. It is one of the major strategies adopted by the firms to diversify its product line and services. Strategic alliances enables the companies to get entry into new markets and expand their market share. Usually, organizations operational in stagnant industries uses the alliances as a means to register and increase its presence in emerging industries. By entering into alliances, organizations seek many new opportunities which otherwise would not be possible and reduces the future competition risk considerably. Alliances enables the firm to gain efficiency by achieving economies of scale and vertical integration. As all the alliance partners provide resources resulting in increase in the resources of the organizations, firms that have less resources of any kind opt for the strategic alliance to fulfill the resource gap. Small firms most often create alliance to overcome the lacking in the research and development resources. One of the most important factors for the strategic alliance is to gain new skills and knowledge. Alliance enables them to learn from each other's skills, expertise, technology and technical standards. Alliances facilitate combined manufacturing and product development, which helps in improving the performance, capacity to produce and existing market product and services. It also enables them to attain the competitive advantage and increase profits. 3.3 Types of strategic alliance. Strategic alliances are of following types. First, joint ventures. It refers to an agreement where two or more parties form a single entity in order to take up certain projects. Each of the parties has an equity stake in the individual business and each of them is entitled to share revenues, expenses and profits. Joint venture is usually associated with larger firms as it is difficult for the smaller firms to meet the commitment and the cost involved in such alliances. Second, affiliate marketing. It is an alliance where the partners promote the marketing of the other partner. In the recent years, there has been tremendous increase in affiliate marketing. With the advent of internet, most of the online retailers have used this to maximize the benefits. Internet facilitates accurate tracking of the referrals right through the order process. Affiliate marketing was pioneered by Amazon, which at present has thousands of affiliate websites promoting its products based on its performance. Third, outsourcing. It refers to an agreement where one of the partner of the alliance gets portion of its work done by the other partner, thereby utilizing the partner's skill and proficiency of doing the work. While the partner performing the work on behalf of the other partner benefits from the earning obtained through this job work. The outsourcing started becoming prominent in 1980s and thereafter the upward trend continued throughout the decade of 1990s and it still continues today, although it has weakened to some extent in the recent years. Fourth, technology licensing. This refers to a contractual arrangement which involves licensing of trademarks, trade secrets and intellectual property to an external firm with an objective to get a low cost entry into an international market. The major drawback of this alliance is very high risk of exploitation associated with it as control over technology is no longer with the owner. Fifth, product licensing. This is an arrangement whereby license to manufacture and sell certain product is provided to the external firm. The license provides the right to sell the products within an exclusive geographical area and often involves much less risk in expanding than building the manufacturing base and distribution reach. Sixth, franchising. Franchising is considered to be financially risk-free alliance made by the company. Here, the setup fee and the ongoing payments are made by the franchisees. The only drawback is the loss of control over franchisee's style and manner of running the franchise. Seventh, research and development. If research and development is the basis for all alliance, then such alliance fall into the joint venture category where two or more entity forms a new entity through research venture. Eighth, distributors. One of the best way to market the product is by recruiting distributors with each having their own geographical area or product type. This would enable easy monitoring of the performance of each of the distributors. Ninth, distribution relationships. One of the main objectives of strategic alliance is to increase the customer base, and for this, firms make cross-promotional agreements in the form of distribution relationship. Therefore, this turns out to be one of the most common form of alliance. 3.4. Benefit of the strategic alliances. Source 2007 and ISO rates 2009 identifies the following 4 potential benefits that a firm may derive from strategic alliance: ease of entering new market, risk sharing, sharing of knowledge and expertise, and synergy and competitive advantage. First, ease of entering new markets. Entry in the foreign market has become easier now with the advancement of information and communication technology and transportation system. By entering into the foreign market, firms benefit hugely through the economies of scope and scale in marketing and distribution. However, the huge cost associated with the entry act as a major deterrent for the entry of small firms. Such firms, through the strategic alliance with an international firm, are able to get entry while keeping the cost low. Firms going in for strategic alliance are also able to overcome the other entry barriers such as competition from the host country firms and not so conducive government regulations. Second, risk sharing. When the market is relatively new or has just opened up or is marked with uncertainty and instability, risk of entry and operating in such market is very high. Entry into such market or launching new product is very difficult for an individual firm. Thus, entering into the cooperative arrangement or strategic alliance provides a way out for the firms to cope with the uncertainty, as now the risk gets shared between the partners. Third, sharing of knowledge and expertise. Sharing of the knowledge and expertise is one of the prime objectives of the strategic alliance. Different firms differ in competency and area of expertise. Some may have expertise in one area but may lack in other areas. Strategic alliance allows such firms to have access to the knowledge and expertise that they are lacking. The knowledge and expertise shared ranges from ways to deal with government regulations, knowledge related to the production or means of acquiring resources. Fourth, synergy and competitive advantage. Entering into strategic alliance enables the firm to achieve synergy and competitive advantage. Forming the strategic alliance helps the firm reduce the risk of market entry, international expansion, research and development, etc. as compared to when operating alone. When the partner leverage of each other's strength, competition becomes more effective, leading to synergy in the process, which otherwise is very difficult if attempting to enter new market alone. In retail sector, entering a new market is often difficult, associated with high cost and is time consuming. Strategic alliance provides the solution, as alliance with an established and well reputed company creates favorable brand image and efficient distribution networks, while the established companies are also need to introduce new brands to the market. Often it has been observed that the smaller firm benefits more from the strategic alliance and are able to market their product faster than the bigger firms. Theories related to strategic alliance. Strategic alliance can be explained based on the theories of the firm behavior. This includes the transaction cost theory, resource dependency theory, organizational theory, relationship marketing, and strategic behavior theory. The underlying philosophies for any firm behavior theory remains the same. Companies either respond to the changes in their environment and adapt to it, or they make an attempt to influence their environment. Transaction cost theory It was given by Williamson in 1979. The transaction cost theory suggests that the main objective of the company to form alliance is to minimize their cost or the associated risk. Strategic alliance is an internalization process which enables the firms to avoid the uncertainties of the marketplace accompanying negotiations and risk. Thus, alliance serves as a means which the firm uses to adapt to the uncertain environment. Resource dependency theory. It was given by Glaister in 1996. This theory states that firms are self-sufficient in having specific resources and depends on the others for important resources. Inadequate availability of strategic resources act as driver for the alliances and provides ways to reduce uncertainty. The theory implies that companies react and adapt to their environment. Organizational learning theory. This theory states that there is difference in tacit and specific knowledge possessed by the firm. The specific knowledge can be shared or transferred through licensing, whereas tacit knowledge is the inherent knowledge imbibed in an individual which can be transferred only by learning alongside an individual. Such knowledge cannot be bought or licensed. Companies treat knowledge as a means of retaining or acquiring competencies and adapting to their environment, just as in case of the resource dependency theory. They also acquire knowledge in order to compete at different points of value chain. This changes the structure of the industry or the environment in which they operate. Relationship marketing theory. This is based on the notion that the firms tend to form strong relationship with their customers and suppliers as a marketing strategy. This enables the firm to provide best customer value. Thus, firms find marketing alliance as the most effective and least risky means of operating that will strengthen their relationship with the customer base. Strategic behavior theory. This theory suggests that the companies are more likely to form cooperative alliances if they have strong reasons to believe that such arrangement will provide better opportunity to achieve their strategic objectives along with the profit maximization. Both relationship marketing and strategic behavior theory proposes that firms make alliances as a proactive action or means of adapting to the changes in their environment. Next is stages of alliance formation. A typical strategic alliance involves three major phases: initial phase, operational phase, and evaluation phase, and each of these phases is characterized by a number of internal factors and processes. First, initiation phase. Initiation phase is marked by presence of informal structure and communication channels. The initiation process is guided by a champion who set the ball rolling by the arranging a meeting of two parties interested for making alliance. Thereafter, the leaders of the two firms take the charge of forming alliance. Sometimes the champion may remain integrated with the organization even during the operational phase. Organization often initiates alliance due to complementary needs and assets. Needs may arise from a range of financial, political, and organizational areas. For example, firm with financial resource may help the other firm begin, grow, innovate programs. Firms may initiate partnership to improve their own image and reputation and meet their necessary legal or regulatory requirement, which would not be possible otherwise. Organization may also initiate alliances to achieve compatible goals which are not common but mutually beneficial and unachievable if attempted alone. Initiating an alliance also depends on the similarity of beliefs and approaches towards a problem. Finally, the most important factor that leads to the initiation of an alliance is the trust between the partners. Often the trust is established by the existing networks, which involves people with similar interest deciding to form alliance based on each other past experience. Trust is also enhanced by open communications, shared value and mutual respect. Second, operational phase. In the operational phase, the alliance takes the formal shape and formal meetings between the partners are held to develop an internal structure under which the alliance functions. The alliance itself functions as an organization during the operational phase, and each partner of the alliance take measures to improve the overall performance of the alliance. Operation of the alliance requires a strong internal structure and processes to ensure good governance, open communication and accountability. A well-defined governance structure and decision-making process provides opportunity to all the stakeholders to come together, take decision and perform the work of alliance. Open communication is essential for effective functioning of an alliance. This enables partners to share their objectives and goals, technical data and problems. The information flow should be effective throughout the alliance and must pass on from the leaders to workers and back as well. Another important feature of the operational phase is to have a clearly defined accountability plan which would ensure the activities that each member is responsible and provide outline about the accountability of the alliance and demarcate the consequences of the failures in achieving the desired goal. Finally, the most important constituent of the operational phase is the effective leadership, which is very essential for managing the operation of the alliance. Third, evaluation phase. This is the last and the most important phase of alliance process. This phase involves evaluation of both positive and negative impacts of alliance. Evaluation is given more importance as both the intended and the unintended impacts of the strategic alliance becomes evident only after the goals have been evaluated against the outcome. The information related to alliance implementation is provided by a formative evaluation, while a summative evaluation or the overall evaluation of the impacts and outcomes forms the basis of the judgment on whether the alliance should be continued, restructured or terminated. Evaluation helps the partners identify the areas for improvement. The feedback received through evaluation is used to modify and upgrade the alliance. The modification often involves actions to be taken in the operational phase, like improvement in the structure and process and redefining of the goals. Evaluation may result in partners deciding to grow by adding services and new partners, or they may decide in favor of terminating the alliance, referred to as death of an alliance. Termination needs not necessarily indicate the failure of the alliance, but it could be that the alliance has run its course and is not required anymore. Termination could be because of the following reasons as given by Cantor in 1994. Current partner no longer suitable due to the change in the goal and direction, shift in the responsibilities and priorities of the personnel involved in managing alliance, new market conditions which may render the partnership unnecessary. Next, success and failure of strategic alliance. Success of strategic alliance. Success of strategic alliance depends on the successful implementation of the several factors that are associated with the different phases of the strategic alliance. These factors include scrutiny and selection of a suitable strategic partner, designing and establishment of appropriate authority to take care of the alliance, and successful implementation of the post-formal evaluation stage, which includes evaluation of the alliance to assess the worth and practicality of continuing with the alliance. Success of an alliance depends to a great extent on the characteristics, features of the strategic partners, conflict resolving capacity, and techniques and managing communication gaps. Another important factor that contributes to the success of the alliance is the willingness of the partners to remain open to the different ways of achieving a common goal. Flexibility shown by the partners in achieving commonly defined objective based on the actual day-to-day efforts rather than working strictly on the predefined strategies as mentioned in the agreement is very important for the success of the alliance. One of the major roadblocks to the success of the alliance is setting in of the conflict and distrust in the alliance, inflicted mainly by the coming together of partners which differ in their culture. Success of the alliance is based on the confidence of the stakeholders that the risk shared by them is worth taking and commensurate with the reward they expect from the alliance. The mutual trust between the partners for a successful alliance can be built upon comprehensive and proven process that ensures that the partners takes into consideration and resolve issues relating to some 15 critical success factors as shown in the following figure 2. Next, failure of strategic alliance. Not all strategic alliances are successful. Some of them may yield the desired results, or the partners may not be able to achieve the goals expected from the alliance. Often this happens in the case the strategies are not implemented properly or if they are not designed to meet the goal. This may also be due to poor management of the inter-organizational relationship. Some of the prominent reasons leading to the unsuccessful alliance as highlighted by Zamir et al. 2014 are as follows. First, control over the implementation of the strategy is very important. Loss of control over the implementation of strategy by the partners of the alliance may result in failure of the alliance. Second, problems becomes inevitable if the organization is too much or solely dependent on the skills and knowledge of the partner of the other alliance. Third, the alliance which results in unequal gains for the partners can lead to dissatisfaction and disagreement between the partners. This may turn out to be another cause for the failure of an alliance. Fourth, poor management and monitoring of the project may give rise to several issues related to the execution, timings, accountability, and even the viability of the project. Thus, poor management of the organization by the partners may lead to an unsuccessful alliance. Fifth, failure of the partners to concentrate on the basics of the strategies agreed upon such that they are unable to differentiate between the goals of the alliance and their individual goals result in conflict and the partners end up competing with each other. Fifth, when the partners differ in their culture values, there are chances that there may be cultural clashes and difference of opinions having adverse effect on the agreement of the alliance. Seventh, to achieve the goal of the alliance, job position and their profiles are subjected to change. This may create situation where the organization may find difficult to fulfill their obligations due to ambiguity and uncertainty associated with the specific role. Eighth, multiple alliances with competing organizations formed by a partner of the alliance could affect the alliance adversely. Ninth, government regulations can also affect the success of an alliance. For example, antitrust regulations can limit the benefits of the alliance by inviting interventions. Summary: strategic alliance is an agreement that enables two companies that shares common interest and utilizes similar resources to achieve their goals. The two companies entering the agreement are independent and often compete with each other. Motives for strategic alliances are entry into new markets by overcoming political, economic and social barriers during the expansion, increase the distribution network, reduce risk, gain access to intangible assets like skill and knowledge, diversify, gain efficiency by achieving economies of scale and vertical integration, and attain competitive advantages. Strategic alliances are of the following types: joint ventures, affiliate marketing, outsourcing, technology licensing, product licensing, franchising, research and development, distributors and distribution relationships. Benefits of strategic alliances are: facilitates easy entry into new market, sharing of risk, knowledge and expertise, synergy and competitive advantage. Theories of firm behavior can be used to explain the strategic alliances. This includes transaction cost theory, resource dependency theory, organizational theory, relationship marketing, and strategic behavior theory. Three major phases of strategic alliances are initiation phase, operational phase, and evaluation phase. Each of these phases is characterized by a number of internal factors and processes. Success of strategic alliance depends on the successful implementation of the several factors that are associated with the different phases of strategic alliances. Strategic alliance fails when strategies are not implemented properly or if they are not designed to meet the goal. This may also be due to poor management of the inter-organizational relationship.